Welcome to another episode of Resident Evil: The Files, where we take a deep dive into the smaller stories found within its universe, discovered within the pages of the notes and diaries left behind. Last time we covered the tragic story of Trevor's diary, chronicling architect George Trevor's final days after designing the infamous Spencer Mansion. Today, we'll be taking a look at both versions of the Plant 42 report, classic and remake. Before we get started, today's sponsor is my Patreon page. If you'd like to support my content, you can become a GamerThumbTV patron, which gives you access to my Patreon feed and community tab, Patreon Discord channel, early access to YouTube videos, weekly progress reports, behind the scenes posts, and sneak peeks at upcoming projects. Click the link in the description below. Plant 42 was one of Umbrella's most horrific experiments as part of their T-virus research. Once a normal plant, it was injected by Umbrella researcher Dr. Henry Sarton in an effort to test the T-virus's effects on plant life. During the early days of the Arclay facility outbreak, Dr. Sarton recorded his findings in the Plant 42 report. In the classic Resident Evil, it was found on the bed in the first floor of the guardhouse, in room 002. The report reads as follows. 4 days have passed since the accident, and the plant at Point 42 is growing amazingly fast. It's been affected by the T-virus differently than other plants have been, and shows a unique shape in addition to its size. Looking at the way it behaves, it's now difficult to determine what kind of plant it originally was. There are two ways in which Plant 42 gathers nutrition. The first is through its root that reaches into the basement. Immediately after the accident, a scientist went mad and broke the water tank. Now the basement's filled with water. It's easily imaginable that some chemical elements were blended in the water and promoted the incredibly fast growth of Plant 42. Another part of Plant 42 from the basement grows through the duct and hangs down, like so many bulbs from the ceiling of the first floor. Many vines come out of those bulbs, and they are the second resource for its nutrition. Once sensing movement, Plant 42 shoots its vines around its prey and holds it. Then it starts sucking up blood, using the suckers located at the back of its vine. It also has some intelligence. It blocks the door by twining its vines around it, especially when it captures prey or it's sleeping. Several staff members have already fallen victim to this. May 21st, 1998. Henry Sarton.
What the hell is this?
Buried!
Jill!
You saved me!
Yeah.
In the Resident Evil remake, the map is slightly different. The guardhouse dormitory known as the Residence, and on the first floor, in room 002 once again, the updated Plant 42 report can be found on the desk next to the bed. Dr. Henry Sarton's observations on Plant 42's growth reads as follows. 4 days have passed since the accident. The plant at Point 42 is growing at an amazing rate. Although there are many unknown aspects about this plant, we know that in comparison with the other group of plants, the T-virus has had a substantially stronger effect on this one. The T-virus has drastically morphed its host's anatomy, as well as its size. Looking at its current state, it's difficult to imagine its original appearance. Nowhere on Earth will you find anything like it. We've also found that Plant 42 has two main sources of acquiring its necessary nutrients. One source is through its root. Somehow it has rooted itself down into the basement. Immediately after the accident, a scientist went mad and destroyed the aqua ring. Ever since, the basement has been like a pool. There is a high possibility that it's one of the chemicals in the water that's promoting Plant 42's rapid growth. However, we have yet to determine the specific chemical. A bulb-like body of Plant 42 has been sighted hanging from the ceiling of the first floor, and we're sure that it used the air ducts to reach it. Numerous long tentacle-like vines are protruding from the bulb. We believe the vines are the second means of acquiring its nutrients. When Plant 42 senses prey, it uses the tentacle-like vines to capture it. After doing so, suckers on the vine drain the prey of its blood, and we've also noticed it has some intelligence. When it captures its prey, or when it's inactive, the vines twine around the door to stop possible intruders. Unfortunately, several of our scientists have already fallen victim to Plant 42. When we heard the stories from the survivors, they all observed one thing in common. When the uniform petal-like flaps open and reveal its vital internals, it has a tendency to become more aggressive. One witness reported that it was as if it was trying to protect itself. Why it behaves the way it does is still unknown. May 21st, 1998. Henry Sarton.
I thought it was finished.
Yeah.